Formula One makes one of its biggest journeys ever as we go to the Losail International Circuit for the first ever Qatar Grand Prix. Just 3 races remain on this incredible 2021 season. Chapter 20 of the Hamilton-Verstappen battle comes to the Losail circuit as well. Fresh off the back of the controversial weekend we had in Sao Paulo, undeniably though, Lewis Hamilton's greatest ever drive. Last in the sprint race, first in the main race on Sunday. A true last to first victory over 95 laps. After this weekend in Qatar, we take a 2-week break before the final 2 races in Saudi Arabia. That is very much fingers crossed it's going to happen before revamped Abu Dhabi holds what's going to be the title showdown we're all expecting. In the Drivers' Championship, Max Verstappen's lead was 21 points going into Sunday's main race. He left Sao Paulo with it only being 14. Lewis Hamilton is closing him down with 3 races to go. Max Verstappen then has the advantage, but the teammate is catching Valtteri Bottas, the teammate of Lewis Hamilton as well, over the battle for 3rd place. Lando Norris and Charles Leclerc holding on 5th and 6th. Carlos Sainz dropping way back in 7th. Danny Ricciardo has 8th. Pierre Gasly 9th, and Fernando Alonso rounds out the first page in the top 10 on 62 points. Page 2 sees Esteban Ocon alongside Sebastian Vettel, Lance Stroll and Yuki Tsunoda scoring points as well. Raikkonen, Nicholas Latifi and Antonio Giovinazzi seeds out the points finishers. Yet to score a point though is Mick Schumacher, Robert Kubica and Nikita Mazepin. In the Constructors' Championship, Mercedes is dominated by 521 points to 510 points on Red Bull. They swung it back in contention and has now an 11-point lead. Ferrari are battling Mercedes over 3rd place. McLaren's bad result last time out has put the favour very much the Scuderia's way. Alpine and AlphaTauri are still level on points, both scoring 6 last time out. Then we get Aston Martin in 7th, Williams in 8th, Alfa Romeo 9th, and pointless on the board is the Haas F1 team bringing up the rear in 10th. We're still in the daylight of Qatar. It's time for the first ever Formula One session here at the Losail International Circuit. It's time for free practice 1. Let's take a look then around the Losail circuit, this time with a MotoGP bike. The only version of any motorsport that have actually been here. They've got a game out. Down towards turn 1 then in the Formula 1 car. It'll be down to 5th gear, 160 kilometers an hour. A long sweeping right-hander that straightens out on the run up towards turn 2. 200 kilometers an hour in an F1 car, 5th gear corner. Loops back out, little kink again to the left for the fast sweeping turn 3. 6th gear, 265 kilometers an hour. Back on the brakes after a little bit of a straight to turn 4. 6th gear, 215 kilometers an hour. Back on, turn 5 as well. 5th gear, 200 kilometers an hour, and then just roll at the exit. Downhill towards turn 6, 3rd gear, 100 kilometers an hour. It tightens up midway through as well as you bank to the left. Down the straightaway then towards turn number 7, another hairpin on this track, 4th gear, 140 kilometers an hour. It's difficult to get the car stopped as well, even on a MotoGP bike. It just lets you drift out wide. Then you come through 8 and 9, the Mickey Mouse section that sweeps back on each other. 6th gear, 240 kilometers an hour, back down to 6th gear, 250 kilometers an hour. Down to turn 10, 4th gear, 145 kilometers an hour, back through the hairpin. Back on the accelerator then, through to the long sweeping turn 11, 7th gear, 260 kilometers an hour. Back on the brakes to turn 12 at 7th gear, 260 kilometers an hour. Easy at 313 as well, 7th gear, 260 kilometers an hour. Back in there into turn 14, 7th gear, 250 kilometers an hour as well. Now you're into the 3rd sector, another little straightaway similar to what 5 and 6 was, but this time into turn 15, down then, 7th gear, 240 kilometers an hour in an F1 car, back on the accelerator. Only one DRS zone on this track there, and you come out to the activation point, which is down at turn 16, a 4th gear, 165 kilometers an hour corner. It tightens up a lot as well. It's another long sweeping left-hander that feeds into the right, down the start-finish straight, top speed as well through the speed trap as you cross the control line, and that is a unique lap of the Losail International Circuit. For the first time, Formula One heads to the Losail International Circuit. It's our third race in the Middle East this season, one of 4 we have. But what a place. Made for MotoGP, they've even spelt the track name wrong there. Losail, it's Losail, L-O-S. But this place is fantastic. The Losail International Circuit in Qatar, 3.343 miles as well. DRS zone, only one of them down towards turn 1. High accelerations around this track. It's pretty flat. The curbs are flat. It is a MotoGP circuit as well. We've seen some fantastic times here in the past as well, especially this year's 2 races we had for MotoGP. Tyre compounds, they're the hardest. C1, C2 and C3 take part the hard, the medium and the soft tyre. All this is because this tyre compound situation is exactly the same as what we see at Silverstone as well. So the anticipation for this weekend is going to be very, very difficult indeed. Track temperature is at 42 degrees, air temperature 28 degrees as well. We've got around about 3 hours to learn this circuit, give or take a possible red flag. And I really hate that whoever is the person who has typed in Losail Qatar, you've got it wrong. You've put a U. In fact, it's completely wrong. The Losail International Circuit, it's L-O-I-S. A-I-L, it's whatever it is, but it's wrong. It's wrong. That is wrong, and I hope they get it. How embarrassing they come here and they already got it wrong. Still looking around the circuit, we're taking part free practice 1 in the daytime. Free practice 2 later on will be at the normal race time as well in the twilight format. We're back to our traditional weekend. 3 practice sessions, 2 on a Friday, both lasting 60 minutes. A final 60 minutes on Saturday morning before qualifying in 3 segments and going forward with the race on Sunday, 57 laps ahead of us. And they've got it wrong. They are spelling it wrong and it is really bugging me. Hello to let's go to the group chat. I can see it clearly here. Hello to Josh Payne says, don't want to make you jealous or anything, but I was watching the preview in the egg sausage and bacon sandwich. It's okay. We had American pancakes this weekend as well. He says as well, you can't switchable. That's because the track map is black. Yep. So if you take a look, our track guide this week, it's black. Nothing we can do about it. However, it has moved.
I think this is because it's the nighttime race.
Yeah, it did that in Bahrain, didn't it? It has moved, look, and it keeps on doing this. Like, look, I'm going to do live editing because the people who make this, the FIA, they still haven't worked out what they want it to do yet. But there's the track map of Qatar.
They want it to show where people are on the track.
Yeah, and it hasn't worked.
Can we say thank you to our new contributor, Mark Marquez? He wasn't doing anything else. He was sat on his sofa. So he actually did the lap attack. Yeah.
Fantastic, actually.
Thank you, Mark. You'd think he'd have, with all his money, he'd have more than a PlayStation 4, though.
It was a PS5, I'll have you know.
Was it a PS5?
It was a PlayStation 4 game.
Well, how would I know?
It was a PlayStation...
I'm a pensioner.
But it was a PlayStation 4 game done on a PlayStation 5, so we'll give you that one.
PlayStation 4. I thought it was PlayStation 4.
Thank
you, Mark.
Yeah, coming through then. M says as well, finally, I don't need to wake up at midnight to watch F1. Yeah, we have to wake up early, though. 60 seconds until the session gets underway. Cynthia says, hello. The city is called Losail in English, I think, and the track is called the Losail International Circuit, but the city name is Losail, so it is correct. But it should be Losail. It's the circuit name. It's where they are. They're getting it all wrong. MotoGP get it right, so I don't know why they don't. As well, any rain predicted this weekend? Risk of rain for this first practice session is 0. But don't laugh, because believe it or not, we've had a couple of MotoGP races
which had rain.
Yeah, do you remember, what was it, 2016, the first race? We were delayed for like an hour and a half because a rainstorm
When it does come
came.
down, it comes down heavy.
Yeah.
And it comes down straight.
Yeah, there's no wind around the circuit, so it just drops.
Drops.
And the World Superbike Championship as well. They had a wet race, and they only had 6 cameras around the track.
They have been dusting the pit boxes this morning with the blowers.
Yeah, because it's so sandy as well.
And what Ted's pointing out now is the fact that they've had to put stuff over the drain covers.
Yes.
Because this is a MotoGP track, and it doesn't bother the MotoGPs that the drain covers are raised, but it could actually damage the tyres. So they've put plastic board over and taped it down with gaffer tape. Formula One.
Yeah,
at
gaffer
its
tape.
height.
Always with gaffer tape. Let's see how that works.
Do you know, where would Formula One be without gaffer tape?
Cars are leaving the pit lane.
Sometimes it flaps around, or so Red Bull say.
Oh, don't get about Red Bull and that. Let's
I'm
go
not
to the
allowed
chat
to
quick.
talk about Red Bull. Happy birthday, Christian, for Tuesday.
The week before.
Yeah.
Yeah, this
No, it's
Tuesday just gone.
just
Yeah.
gone.
So the says, but they put the city name in. I think. No way. What? Rain in Qatar? Yeah, we get Rain in Qatar.
I
Seriously.
sent him a first edition Spice World movie
I think he's got.
DVD.
I think he's got the 3rd edition of Jerry Halliwell.
And he sent it back.
He's got the 3rd edition of Jerry Halliwell.
She's had more editions than anything else. I like the new Jerry. You know, she's you know, a lot of them when she's like retired. She's not like posh, is she?
Good morning. Good morning.
Posh
To,
Spice.
yeah, good morning to Adam as well. Hope you have a great weekend and said it's going to be
And how
exciting.
can Baby
Qatar.
call herself Baby now? She's
I know.
about 52, isn't she?
Round about that, yeah. But
Yeah.
we've asked a question in the group chat, and I want you all to get involved because here it is. Look, if I get it down, will the FIA investigate Verstappen? It's had 4 votes so far, and you've all said yes.
Yeah.
Because that's the question coming into this first practice
The
session.
situation at the moment is that there's a Zoom call going on between the
Yeah.
guys from Brazil.
Yeah, right now, which is Tim Mayer, who's the permanent, he's the permanent the man in charge, yeah.
And then there's the guy from America,
Yeah, Matteo Peroni,
the guy from Italy.
Vittorio Liuzzi, ex-Red Bull driver.
Yeah.
And then we got Roberto Pupo Monreal also on the board. And they're all meeting now. We understand that last night they did have their Zoom meeting, but it got interrupted. So they,
Adam says, have a blessed weekend. Good morning.
And have a blessed weekend yourself. Hopefully we'll be on the Grid Network later on. But yeah, so Verstappen, his onboard wasn't available during the Grand Prix because of the satellite signal. It was facing the rear of the car. But the front of the car is always recording. This, by the way, let's just demonstrate what it was on. It's on an SD card. That is a normal. Let's go to the full camera. That's a normal SD card. That is what we knew about SD cards, but F1 sizes of their cards are that big.
Well, he's showing me, not the camera.
Yeah, but no, they are that big. That was in top of the FIA dome.
Yeah, but there's a big
on the wheel.
important thing. This should have all been sorted out back in Brazil.
Yeah.
Because of the fact that it doesn't matter the position of the camera. It doesn't matter the position of the steering wheel on that camera. And Martin has just pointed out, and I'm sure our viewers in Australia have been listening to him, right? Martin has got a really good point, right? The wheels are connected to that steering wheel.
Yeah, you can easily see what happened, that he just drifted out wide. He drifted.
I will say that Max's take on it is that he was losing rear grip and had to adjust, right? Well,
but he was able to get
that
grip
happens.
later on.
It just so happened to be a coincidence that it happened there. Should we believe him or not?
I don't know. I personally, I don't believe him.
Any racing driver
I do
when
not.
he's talking about an incident.
Basically, the FIA made their decision. They noted the investigation. So they noted the incident during the race, but they didn't investigate because they didn't have Verstappen's onboard camera available at the time. That became available on Tuesday, and on Wednesday, we heard from the Mercedes bosses that they are appealing that decision. Let's hear from Ricardo.
Grass, this is fun.
Daniel Ricciardo enjoying the new Qatar circuit. Raikkonen's done a 129.192.
Synthel says he didn't drift, but he wouldn't have made the corner if he'd have turned in more.
Yeah, he wouldn't have.
So, you know, it's one of those things. Can we just call it a racing incident and get on with it?
Well,
but the thing is, the most important thing here, right, and the reason it should have been dealt with in Mexico with a 5 second with a 5 second penalty is that, right, twice this season, Leclerc and then
Norris,
Lando,
in Austria,
right, different races have been done for doing exactly that.
Yeah, and we've championed
continuity
before,
of the rules should
that,
work.
Yeah. We did say with Lando Norris that was a very harsh penalty to give him.
A 5 second penalty would only
Drop
make him
behind.
third.
Yeah, but crucially, it drops the championship from 14 points to 11.
Yeah, well, they're all like that.
Yeah.
You know, you've got to realise that the big money that's spent by these companies means that they're going to fight for every little point.
And considering it was Jonathan Wheatley and Red Bull who reported Hamilton's car to the stewards, that's
Jonathan's job.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but that's Jonathan's job.
And it's the same for Mercedes. It's their job to try and get this back. But
Otmar.
Yeah, Otmar. Almost half now. But that's the team principal of Aston Martin.
No, Otmar. Otmar, the guy that makes complaints to the FIA for Mercedes?
No, I can't remember who it is at the moment.
It's
not Otmar. But anyway, so yeah, they've protested the decision, and there was a meeting last night to decide whether or not they want to reinvestigate it. Mercedes said, look, you didn't have this on board. You've told us you didn't have this on board. You've got it now. We think this should be a penalty. They are not going to investigate it at the current time of this live. They're still in the meeting at this current time.
No, because it's gone to the second stage, which is there now merit enough from the new evidence to actually proceed with a full investigation?
And if that's the case, does it go before the FIA World Motorsport Council in December, or does it go here right now? They've got to make a decision, otherwise it could have a deep effect on the World Championship.
Synthel says, I mean, honestly, Bottas did exactly the same in lap 1. Yeah, but in lap 1, right, the stewards generally give a lot of leeway.
Yeah.
Right?
So we can start in strat mode 7.
I'm not saying he did it on purpose, because I don't know. But I suspect he did.
Look, Verstappen also, we must remember, got a black and white flag for weaving on the straight to defend.
Yeah, and
Lewis.
said boo-hoo to it.
Yeah,
You know, it's
my one thing was that he put his car in that position. Lewis was already round the outside. Lewis would have made the corner and made the overtake as he did a couple laps later. But Verstappen put the car in the middle of the track, and honestly, he could have made the turn if he turned the wheel more. Yes, they say the rears were sliding.
I remember years ago.
Wait, hang on. They say the rear of the car was sliding, but if you look at the off-board shot, did you see any rear slide? I didn't. He opened up the steering. He didn't open up the steering wheel,
no
but
wheel wobble.
You saw the car initially.
But that doesn't mean he doesn't feel it.
You saw the car grip and begin to turn into Tessiga Delaga. Then all of a sudden, midway through, it's like he just left off the brakes a little bit. He didn't open the wheel, but he left the brakes off, and the car just went straight.
You see, there is a rule.
It's like when you're ice
supposed
skating.
to leave enough track position for the other car.
He didn't.
And that's
the
the
rule.
thing that he's broken. Whether by accident or things. And people look at Canada with Sebastian and Lewis. Look, years ago, in Lewis's McLaren days, when he lost the Grand Prix after the race.
Yes.
Because of the
Vettel's Vettel got a penalty in Canada of 10 seconds because he left the track and rejoined in a dangerous manner. But he had nowhere to go. Hamilton put his car in that position in Canada to slip up the inside, but he put himself in that position.
And Red Bull are now defending, right?
Yeah.
Our own lad, who was at Red Bull last year, Albon.
Alex Albon, yeah.
Right, Albon. And Lewis, that is almost similar to what
happened in Austria and in Brazil. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And each time they complained.
And each time also Lewis Hamilton got a penalty. He got was it 10-second penalty in Sao Paulo 2019, and then let's say from Hamilton.
Massively down on power.
Oh, that's not good. Lewis Hamilton feeling massively down on power.
I'm a great believer though that you shouldn't change the result
of the race.
After the thing's done. In football, we would have still been in a World Cup a few years ago.
Yes, we would have been
if we'd have had VAR, because the goal from
we would have won the Euros. We had a goal disallowed. Do you remember?
Goal disallowed, which was perfectly okay.
Yeah, we would have won the Euros. Are you shivering?
No.
If you want, I've got my coat over there. You can just drip it over you. My nice little coat.
Yeah, he's a mod.
Anyway,
Him and his brother have got Parkers.
Same coat, yeah. Honestly, everyone on track. Yeah, everyone is on the track. Nobody's leaving out there. And I wish I could show you the driver tracker, but that's it. It's not working. So clap, 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 FIA. Hopefully it'll be fixed up too.
chattering on the front.
But
The rest.
that's Perez.
Okay, copy that.
Yeah, and just seconds. Bottas went off himself and Checo get a pass with Hamilton. They both went off because of it.
I will say this, Synthel, right? And,
Bottas had the inside line.
You are obviously a big Max fan, being Dutch. Right?
However,
and things like that. But you also know a lot about Formula One, and you know who that lad's father-in-law is, who he met for the he's not married yet, but right, he met Nelson
again
on the Wednesday before, and Nelson apparently said to him, "You've got to be more aggressive, like he used to be." Right? you've got to be fair but aggressive. And that's, in my view, is what he was doing. He was being aggressive, trying to get... You know, you'll never win these world championships unless you push the rules to the limit. But all we're saying now is there's consistency needed, right? Lando lost, was it 4 championship points?
Yeah.
For his misdemeanor, which was exactly the same.
I've also noted down here, actually, because I thought this happened a couple of races ago, and Red Bull protested then. Lewis Hamilton in Turkey, bad day, no pit, I put in there, forced Perez off track at turns 12, 13 and 14. Do you remember when he forced him into the pit lane? So, if Hamilton can do that, and there was no penalty, when we said in the commentary, actually, surely Hamilton's going to get a penalty for that. He's forced him across the pit lane line. No penalty was given. So if you want consistency, how come Lando gets a penalty for forcing Perez off the track off the track in Austria, but Hamilton didn't get a penalty in Turkey, and Verstappen get one here?
The opinion in the paddock is very divided.
So we are
amongst the drivers, it's very divided.
Yeah.
Most of them understand that it was 2 people fighting for a championship.
Yeah.
George is very adamant that it should have been a penalty, but then he is a Mercedes driver.
Gasly said just put gravel on.
Gasly said put gravel there and it won't happen. You know, and do you know what? You lot, right? Adam will know this, right? Because Adam's been watching Formula 1 and motor racing for years and years and years. He's not as old as I am, but he remembers the old days, right? And I'm sure other people out there do. But you lot are too young to remember when Nelson and that were racing. And that wouldn't even be mentioned.
No, it wouldn't. What happened? It would just
be, the stewards, that happened 30 times a race, right? And sometimes happened on the start.
Yeah. Oh, God, the amount of times Piquet crammed into the walls, one of his rivals at the start of the race. Yeah.
Don't mention that. Don't mention that because there is a broken golf buggy, right? If you don't know, Lando and Carlos went golfing with with Dill, Damon Hill, Dill, and they would when Dill asked them about it, they tried to reenact it using their golf carts, and Lando knocked his wheel off. I know they come off anyway, but Lando knocked his wheel off.
How coincidental that Sainz knocked off Verstappen's wheel. Going back on as well, do you think Lewis will take another engine penalty this weekend? I think I saw some rumours that it might happen another engine. Yeah, Martin Brundle said, you may as well take a 5-place grid penalty, get a fresh engine ready for Abu Dhabi, just so you've got more power over Hamilton. And look at that, that's Sainz with the DRS passing Hamilton. That is insane towards turn 1, that DRS power. Adam says, I remember Nelson Piquet, great driver.
Yeah, and the one above it is the condition... I can't read it because my eyes are going a bit funny.
I'll read it in a second.
I know that says Adam, but what's
says
the condition of Jeddah?
Yeah.
Well, it's so funny you should ask like that because, Uncle Mick's firm in Ireland, right, are going out to actually tarmac it, right, for 40 quid.
It is done. From my understanding is that the tarmac's been put down, some grandstands have been put up, but I understand that the pit building is done, they're just going to fit the glass.
You may scoff, but Mick's firm did Silverstone before the MotoGP.
Yeah, and what happened to that? Oh, yeah.
Well, just because they accidentally forgot and actually tarmacked over the drain covers.
Did we have a race? No,
but
we did not.
It only cost them 30 quid.
Yeah, this looks
They're
like
not 10 quid off because it was local.
This looks like a track where there are so many track limits. Yeah, Josh Place told me where the track limits were, actually. I'll just grab it up on the monitors. Alonso goes P14. We have got times on the board, though, with Verstappen fastest, 1:24.998.
What is the use of this practice session, considering qualifying and the race are going to be in the dark?
Well, it's good, actually, for track acclimatisation. They have never been round here. It's a crucial 3 hours.
Well, I saw them on bikes yesterday.
Oh, yeah, they've been round here. Vettel's had a little bit of oversteer coming down here.
Even Lewis was... they had 3 scooters.
Yeah, there's been a lot there. Track limits is at turns 4, 12, 13, 14 and 16. And if the light panels in sectors 20.1 or 2 are displayed yellow, DRS is disabled. So if the yellow's in the first sector, the DRS is disabled.
And if you look on your YouTube Sky Sports accounts, you will see, or Sky Sports online, you will see Damon, actually, who is a former motorcycle
We
racer,
can call and do one more push.
right? Actually showing how they go round a corner,
Yeah, I've seen.
how
I saw
they
that this
slow
morning, yeah.
down. You see, a lot of people watching MotoGP don't even realise that when they stick their leg out, it's because it's to increase the aero drag, right?
Yeah.
And they stick their leg out at an angle, right?
An
I
angle,
thought
an angle, yeah.
Damon described how to go round a corner on a motorbike absolutely perfectly yesterday.
Well, he used to
And
race
he got
bikes,
down
didn't
on
he?
his
Yeah.
knee with
Yeah.
his elbow, leaning on his shoulder and his elbow.
He used to race bikes, of course. Then Betty, his mother, said,
It's too
switch to cars.
dangerous.
Yeah, it's too dangerous bikes, switch to cars. And she's completely right, though.
Yeah, but that was because of the thing with the fact that Murray had spent a lot of time with him when he was growing up, and Murray, so he went into Murray's family thing, and actually, right, when he was getting involved, right, his job
So
was a
slow back, maybe a bit
motorcycle
too slow.
courier in London.
Yes, he was doing everything, wasn't he? Just dipping around London. We've got no driver tracker active, and we've got no pictures at the moment. So let's go to the group chat. Actually, let's go through the order quickly. It's Verstappen, Norris, Bottas, the top three. Fastest time is a 1:24.998. Then we get down the order: Hamilton fourth, Gasly fifth, Leclerc, Ocon, Ricciardo, Sainz, Tsunoda top 10, Stroll, Perez, Vettel, Giovinazzi, Alonso, Raikkonen, Latifi, Schumacher, Mazepin, and Russell down in 20th. But everybody's out. Schumacher and Mazepin, the only two cars.
I did
in
listen
the
to the
pits.
team radio. Synthel says that there was more sandbagging. Yeah, don't
Oh.
ever believe the things that are
I'm
said
losing-
on team radio,
Hamilton saying I'm
because
losing
some
power.
of them
yeah.
are cryptic to mean something else.
Let's go over with it as well. Synthel says with the track limits we did that. Synthel says just no need to worry. Saudi Arabia will be ready in time. Don't know why many people are
So
stressing
time
because
lap
I'm
behind
sure they
10
know what they're
seconds.
doing.
That's
That's
another
moving
thing in
quickly, though, 6
MotoGP.
seconds.
We don't have team radio.
No, we don't.
No,
Well, we are
it's-
going to soon.
Well, it's. I think it'll lose something when you get team radio.
Yeah, no need to
Bad
worry.
enough that
Yeah.
they have to read the on
Onboard
the
dash. Yeah.
Because you see them looking down and then looking up and thinking, oh,
Yeah, no need to worry. Saudi Arabia will be on time. I'm pretty sure they've got the money and the slave labour to do it in time. In Saudi
What?
Arabia. Yeah.
how outrageous!
I
We
know.
are not political.
I just can't believe we're racing in Saudi Arabia. I can't even believe Formula E racing in Saudi Arabia, to be fair.
What?
Yeah, I'm on the opinion of that.
Am I?
But anyway, I think it'll be a very fast track. It got released in the F1 game a couple of days ago, and I did do a couple of laps, and I must say it's a very fast track. But I can't see where there's going to be many overtaking because the straights where you reach 8th gear flat out, they've got lots of weaves in them, so you go for a move, go bang into a wall. So I don't know where on earth the
Pull the
overtake's going
tyres
to happen.
and,
Even
we'll
the start
go for
finish
one
straight is
more lap.
bizarre because it exits a hairpin, and then you've got a very tight, almost Interlagos start line, and then the first two corners
where?
are on Saudi Arabia.
Oh, I was going to say
Yeah.
because I can't remember a hairpin in
No.
Exeter.
No, and then if it's Interlagos, it's like that start grid, it's sort of dome effect, and then turn 1 and 2 are a carbon copy of Vietnam, their first two corners, and we never had Vietnam, so it's nice to
No,
got that
and
corner.
maybe never,
No, I don't think it will ever happen now, because
which is a shame because they spent an awful lot of money.
and it was a beautiful track. It really was, and I was loving that we were going to have a race there. Do you think they can fit in another DRS zone, maybe 10 to 12? Where's 10 to 12? Down at the back half. Yeah, that's possible, but it's turn 11 is a long, sweeping left-hander.
Yeah, but people did actually moan that there was two last week.
Yeah, they did. They did. Yeah, there was 3 DRS zones last week, wasn't there? They were all moaning.
Now practice pit
Oh.
entry.
That's Bottas sliding into one of the Ferraris at the exit there. I think that was Leclerc he was alongside. Yeah, it's stupid, but honestly, I myself don't care. Yes, we race as one, blah, blah, blah. It looks like a unique, interesting track, so I like.
Just please, Formula One, do not damage the curbs because, you know,
MotoGP were going nuts.
we
We already have to listen to the commentators on
it is
MotoGP.
on another thing,
Yeah, moaning
right?
about
The
F1
fact
cars.
that it's a MotoGP track, which means that it's got large runoffs, It's got flat. There's no
Yeah.
sleeping policeman of note around here. The curbs are flat, and things like that. That usually would say it's a Mercedes track.
Yeah.
But I think it's a bit like the Conservative and Labour Party of a few years ago. I don't think there's much difference in the performance of the Red Bull and the Mercedes.
No,
now.
not that much.
Okay, so
And
this will be
so-
the last time lap. So when you finish, strat 14 over the start-finish line.
That's Norris on the radio, so this
Yeah,
is his
go
last
for it.
lap. Go on.
You see, nobody's mentioning this little button that they've got
Which one?
on Mercedes
Oh, yeah.
that decreases and increases the rake.
Did you notice that DAS system? Because I think I figured out what it is.
What is it? An optical illusion.
No, I don't think it controls the front wheels anymore. Here's my theory.
You think it controls the rear wheels?
I do. Here's my theory. Are you ready?
Are they still? Do you know? I tell you what, Mercedes did try a few years ago. Is that rear steering wheels
Yeah, they did. With the,
before
with
they got the big
swinging
fat
round.
wheels back?
To be four-wheel drive, yeah.
Four-wheel
yeah.
drive.
But here's my theory. The new DAS rules say you can't move the front suspension anymore. You can't pull the steering wheel to adjust the lean angle of the front wheels. But
Does it?
as it
change
controls to the back.
Yeah.
Because let me see. Because you saw Hamilton pulling
Is that
it
the
down.
way they
Overtake,
changed the rake?
Yes, I think that's it. Because if you noticed, slow down a sec. If you noticed, when Hamilton was pulling the wheel, it was down the start-finish straight where one of the DRS zones are.
Yeah.
And that is where we noticed the rear suspension sort of firm up and
yeah.
drop down. And it
That's
was
a good point.
That's Verstappen. That's Hamilton nearly whacking into one of the 150 boards. So I think it's a DAS system, but it's a rear DAS system. It's RAS.
Yeah, that one is under train.
Yeah, I think it's real. I think it's rear axle system. So I don't think it's DAS. I think it's RAS.
RAS.
So it's pulling it back. That's why we froze. Steam's come on.
And you could put it in a case, and it could be a RAS cast.
But yeah, I think that's it. I think him pulling the steering wheel backwards is all about the rear suspension.
I think other than the top two, I think Ferrari had the best Grand Prix last time. in Brazil.
Definitely. It's a great sprint race and a great main race. They've moved ahead of McLaren in the Constructors' Championship as well. Ferrari haven't won a race this year. McLaren have, but McLaren has had one big disadvantage all year long. Do you know who that is? It's Daniel Ricciardo. Inconsistent across the board. His season is looking like a roller coaster.
You're only saying this because Beth's asleep.
No, seriously. Let me look. Where is it? Ricciardo. He was 7th in... I'm going to stand up, actually, because I'm going to read this out. I'm going to stand back and I'm going to read this out.
I'd
You
like
ready?
to apologise to our Australian viewers and
listen.
listeners. You know,
I can't stand up for long, so let me talk, because my legs. Daniel Ricciardo, 7th in Bahrain, 6th in Italy, 9th in Portugal, 6th in Spain, 12th in Monaco, 9th in Azerbaijan, 6th in France, 13th in Austria, 7th in Austria, 5th in Britain, 11th in Hungary. Then we get 4th in Belgium, 11th in the Netherlands, 1st in Italy, his only win.
Yeah, but as
4th in Russia, 13th in Turkey, 5th in USA, 12th in Mexico. I can't remember where he was last time out. He was 11th. So it's literally been a zigzag season.
Yeah, but this McLaren is a pig to drive.
It's a race-winning car. It's one of the best they've ever seen. No, it's the Ferrari that's the pig to drive. It's the McLaren.
No. Carlos says that, Daniel say that. And the thing is that at some tracks it's clicked with Danny. Danny has got the he's on top of it at a number of the tracks, and that's where he's done well. But he does have this really queer way of going around corners.
Yeah, but I like to point out that Lando Norris almost won in Russia if it wasn't for the rain. He would have won Russia, and he took pole position. This is a race-winning car that is really, really good.
Oh, we know. It's fantastic now.
It's not done yet, but the big inconsistency
And
has
if
been
you're in Haas, you should actually think to yourself, look where McLaren are now, when they were where we are a few years ago.
To give some consistency, let's read out Lando Norris's results, because he was 4th in Bahrain, 3rd in Italy, 5th in Portugal, then he had a bad race in Spain and was 8th, 3rd in Monaco, 5th in Azerbaijan, 5th in France, 5th in Austria, 3rd in Austria too, 4th in Britain, out of the race in Hungary, 14th in Belgium, but that wasn't a race. 10th in Netherlands. 2nd in Italy, 7th in Russia, but we should have won the race. 7th again in Turkey.
We are very lucky in this country.
8th in America and 10th in Mexico. So he's had a couple of zigzaggy races.
We are very lucky in this country that we are not only we've got the genius, which is Lewis Hamilton, but in Lando and in George, we have people capable of winning the world championship.
Yeah, very strong future.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I would say Lando is 2 years away from where Max is now.
Yeah.
And George is
next year.
A year away.
He will be
from where you put him in when you put George in the Mercedes, you will see how excellent a driver is. You all saw it in his previous outings in a Mercedes, right? He's a genius as a driver, and he's a bit like I'll tell you what. He goes into it methodically. Yeah. He's got his TED book. He's got his TED notebook. He carries around in his pocket. That's why he wears those big pocketed shorts.
Yeah.
Because he's got his notebook in there and pen, right? And Sebastian does this as well. He writes everything down about himself, about the track, and about his competitors. So he doesn't come to a race. He doesn't rely on the strategists and things like that. He's done his own homework, And George is amazing. I don't think he's got the natural talent of Verstappen or Lewis, right? But he's young, and to be honest, right, Verstappen and Lewis showed it at his age.
Yeah.
But I still think that Lando and in Gorgeous George are future world championship contenders.
Alonso went off the track at turn 15. I think his lap time is about to be deleted. Josh Play says, how's no lap times been deleted so far in this session? Australia now had a good, I think, is not happy with me going on about Danny Ricciardo.
Adam agrees with me that George Russell, he thinks, and you, will win in 2022.
Oh, completely. Cynthia then puts, McLaren is a race-winning car at certain tracks, but it's a midfield car at other tracks. Yeah, that's the zigzag we've been talking about.
I agree with Cynthia there. This is what we was just saying. The fact is that Lando knows how to drive that car.
Cynthia says...
He's no different.
Quickly, Cynthia said, I posted that for fun to see people's reaction on my TikTok, and there's 1,000 comments. I'm pretty sure it's not illegal. Actually, I don't know if you know, Cynthia, but that's been the talk at the paddock, was the fact is that the Mercedes wing was actually... The steering wheel was actually moving, because Anthony noticed it on the Skypad.
Yeah.
And I noticed it in commentary in the race.
What it does, we don't know. We are presuming, aren't we?
I think it's
when
RAS.
we've talked about it, that it's a rear... It's to do with the rear axle going up and down.
I do not think it's DAS.
It'd make much more sense to have that. Otherwise, when you go into a corner and you're changing the modes with your finger as you're about to go to the corner, to have another finger having to do
it's
the
ridiculous,
things. So if you've got you can pull it forward or back.
Yeah, it works.
Right, that would work much better than another button to press.
Gasly running off on the track and kicking up a lot of dust and a bit
After
of
all,
sparks
Lewis is renowned after a certain race for pressing the wrong button.
Yeah, twice as well. Didn't he do it in the pit lane in Russia? In wet conditions. I swear he left it on again, which apparently could never have been done again after Azerbaijan.
Yeah, heating up an engine.
Oh yeah, we've got experience of that this morning. Well, to be fair, it wasn't.
I forgot it. I forgot it was on.
It wouldn't have done it. It would have done it anyway. I reckon. Yeah,
our Chevy has got a slight oil leak that is going onto its exhaust, and it's been stood for a few days.
Yeah, not moving.
Not moving because.
So the oil's just been dropping.
The oil's been dropping. And it just burnt it off. That's all. That's fair enough. But it was smoking like mad.
I feel.
I told it was too young to smoke.
I feel that video only had hate comments, but still I gained over 600 followers, so I'm confused. Well, you can know.
Just be happy about the new followers.
Yes, absolutely. And you are onto something. I don't think I've seen your video yet, but honestly, I noticed it in the race when he was passing Sonoda. I thought, is that wheel moving? I thought, no, it's just my eyes. Then Ant noticed it on the Skypad, and I thought, oh, hello, what's going on here? And I've been thinking about it all week, and it just dawned on me this morning. Is it RAS, rear axis system, to make it drop? Because we've been seeing the rear suspension of that Mercedes drop.
Go up and
yeah.
down. And actually, Christian's been talking about it.
Yeah.
You know, the fact that he wants to know if that's legal.
Now,
Was told it was.
Now, of course, the suspension, the rear, it compresses under load, and it will drag down into the car. That's obviously what we know.
This one helps it.
Yeah, this helps it because if you look at them side by side, if you look at Red Bull and Mercedes side by side from Turkey at the rear camera, you will see that the Mercedes car drops a lot quicker than the Red Bull's car. And if you compare it as well, Mercedes, their drop is instant,
Because the
whereas
more
with the
drop
others, it's
you
gradual.
get, the more grip you have on the circuit, so you can take the corner quicker.
And obviously as well, as the car changes gear, it bounces up the rear of the car like it chugs. So when you with the Mercedes,
Christian
it remains flat.
says that although they've known about this for some time, he's more concerned with they can't actually work out. They've got an idea of how Mercedes are so much faster on the straights now.
Yeah, Mercedes was so fast. We saw that Lewis Hamilton went from 20th to 1st last week.
I mean, it's not because the rear wing opens too much.
Yeah.
Right. But is it something to do with the way they position the flap that opens it? The actual
Button, yeah.
No, the corner.
Yeah, the arches.
The corner arch.
Yeah.
Unit that is onto the rear wing that it pulls forward, right?
Next year is going to be very interesting with the new regulation cars to see what's going to stay and what's going to go.
I think what Max was looking for was evidence of a hole in that area, which would actually help them. You know, I think it's the shape of the actual flap.
It's
around the connector.
Yeah, when did they bring the new rear wing in? Hang on. Portugal. That was it. Portugal. They won it, didn't they? They won Portugal and they won Spain.
And
the two tracks were
because
similar.
it's a tennis match, right? Toto, as soon as Christian pointed this out, Toto served back with, well, you're not supposed to have flexible rear wings, and have you seen in recent weeks the way that the Red Bull flexes on the straight?
Yeah.
Which it does. It wobbles like that.
Massively. And
Massively.
it's ridiculous.
And there's supposed to be, it's what they got done for earlier the year, right? It's supposed to be a flex that only goes a certain amount.
Yeah.
And a certain distance. And it's not doing that at the moment because it's more like a wave.
Oh, sorry. Raikkonen going wide at the exit of the first couple of corners and the run down in towards turn. He got caught off at turn 3 and then run to 4.
Talking of the great Kimi, there is when you're watching the in the paddock.
Those DI spots are going to be moved.
No, in the paddock. Yeah, they might be. In the paddock, above each thing, there are pictures of the drivers, and they've done new photos of them with different expressions. You know, like that, and things like that.
This is 2 seconds.
Says BBW fail.
That's brake by wire.
And 19 of the drivers are going like that, and Kimi's like this.
Just perfectly normal. Lance Stroll has a brake-by-wire failure. This happened to both the Astons in Imola on the way to the grid. They both had a brake-by-wire failure and had to come in. And that's very bizarre to see it's happening here at the moment. But he's back in. Let's listen.
Don't shift. Don't shift. There is a hydraulic issue.
Oh,
Please
hydraulics.
come off the pitch slowly.
Oh, yeah, do not shift with no hydraulic pressure.
Because you could smash the gearbox.
Yeah, as Sonoda goes fastest on a 1:24.648. Now, he stopped it in the pit lane, actually. So Lance Stroll's come to a full stop. There's no yellows because it's in the pit lane, but that's going to be a bit dangerous to get out of the way.
Yeah, you can see that wing flexing like mad there.
Yeah, there's some boy with Bottas, isn't it?
On the Bottas things. Is that flexing too much?
On the front wing, yeah. There, though, do you see? We noticed this back in Azerbaijan. Do you remember the fact that the Mercedes front wing seemed to move a lot more?
It's rigid in the middle, and in the actual air vane things, Is that flexing too much? I'm sure Christian is watching.
Do you know, we've got 3 races to go this season, and it is still putting a smile on your face because this is not over. It is still just like it was. It feels ever so more like pre-season testing.
Yeah, it's never over, and they're not going to call it a day.
Go over here as well. Cynthia says about the comments are hilarious. How am I a blind Max fan and Lewis hater?
Josh has said, should I say or should I go?
The Astons are the best looking thing in the night as well. They're quite similar to Mercedes. Aston are going for a more British racing green next year because this is more like a lime green, isn't it? But next year their livery is going to be a British racing green. Because they're getting fed up of being called a Mercedes. But Mercedes are going to silver next year.
Yeah.
Because Lewis said that we don't need to do
British
the
Racing
black
Green.
Mercedes
I've had
anymore.
a number of cars British Racing Green.
Van Wall, most famous one. That Van Wall is beautiful.
I ain't had a Van Wall.
No, the car. You have
I said
Van Wall.
about
No,
me.
yeah. That Van Wall, though, if I could drive any Formula 1 car, it would be the Van Wall.
Oh, yeah.
Beautiful car. And of course, I can really thinking about it. I think I could only control
The Van Wall
50s, 60s.
was amazing, though,
Yeah.
wasn't it? It just took on the big constructors at their own game.
Won it, didn't? Yeah, won it.
And won.
Cooper, first ever Constructors' Championship. Van Wall, no, it was Van Wall, wasn't it? Van Wall won the championship in 56
Yeah.
for the Constructors. No, 56 was Mercedes.
I'm trying
It was
to remember. I was
58.
going to say something about one of the drivers.
Is it 54? Thinking about it as well, Mercedes, long history in Formula 1, silver arrows. Now, we understand next year they are going to be returning to silver, but with they're going to swap the liveries around. So you know that Mercedes got the silver stars across the back. They're going to be black stars now
And
with the silver car.
Giovinazzi's leaving. That's Giovinazzi's leaving, and the lad from Sheffield.
Guan Yu Zhou.
Yeah.
Yeah, the first ever Chinese driver in Formula 1, but he's from Sheffield.
Yeah.
He's got such a thick Sheffield accent. It's
Aye,
unbelievable.
as lad.
I was only in Sheffield a couple of weeks ago as well.
Aye, you were, lad.
I am wondering, honestly, is Sheffield going to turn into Guan Yu Zhou Central? To be just like how Kinsling has turned into...
they'll be very proud of him in Sheffield.
And hang on, what was
He's
that?
been there since he was 15, so...
And especially, like how Lincoln is all about the Lowe's brothers, Alex and Sam.
Yeah, which is really weird because of the fact that... I think it's because they were actually born in the hospital.
Yeah, Grimsby's
because
Wayne,
they're actually halfway between here and Lincoln that they were born.
Wayne Gardner, Remy Gardner, Australians, but Grimsby boys, really?
Yeah.
Guy Martin the same?
Yeah, Guy Martin and Wayne used to live in North Thoresby.
Yeah, it was actually really nice seeing somebody from Grimsby who's lived in Grimsby and still has a house in Grimsby win the World Championship the other week.
Yeah,
Remy
Moto2.
Gardner. Yeah. Remy Gardner winning the Moto2 World Championship. Has a house in Grimsby, obviously, with as we said, with Wayne Gardner, but that's so nice as well. It's Cadwell Park. They all love Cadwell.
Yeah, they live in Spain.
Yeah. They got houses all over.
They've got. He spent an awful lot of money on Remy's development.
So go to one of the best tracks in the world for motorcycles, Cadwell.
Yeah.
In fact, I think Cadwell is the best circuit in the world for motorcycles because no matter where you are, everybody says Cadwell.
The local industrial estate is where 6 of the superbike teams make parts of their engines.
I still never forget coming. No, we're going to
Honda have been based there for 35 years.
You know the big Tesco in Cleethorpes?
At Fairfield Industrial Estate.
You know big Tesco in Cleethorpes?
Yeah.
One of the strangest things... Oh, as Carlos Sainz goes way off the track there. They're all running wide at the same part. Those bollards might be moved out of FP2.
We saw DC's car park
DC's
there.
cars was there, yeah. So I have actually been in a Formula 1 car. David calls that. The McLaren at that point. No, but do you remember... I don't think you were there, but we were in Tesco Cleethorpes, just walking in, and it was in the MotoGP summer break. And one of the strangest things in your life is when you're coming out of a car, walking into Tesco, and suddenly Neil Hodgson passes you with his family going on his way to Cadwell.
Yeah.
Neil goes past.
Hodgie's also someone who comes here quite a lot.
One of the strangest things, though, is...
DC's raced around Cadwell. He was in the F4s.
Cadwell is it can do certain car events.
Cadwell is the
bikes.
mini Brands Hatch.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh god.
And the hills are, unfortunately, 2 of the guys that I grew up with were killed there on the motorbike.
I've done a couple of laps around there on Cadwell when I did the documentary. And let me tell you, one lap, we went around very slowly, talking about all of it.
yeah.
And as soon as we switched the cameras off, bam, Paul's foot went straight down on the accelerator and off he went in the safety car.
In the safe. Yeah, is that
We got air over the mountain.
Is
It's
that
on camera.
Is that on YouTube?
It's actually on this. It's the first video on this YouTube channel.
Yeah.
If you want to go back, it's the first video, the Chronicles of Cadwell Park that we did it for. It's the first video.
Obviously, Cadwell is
the quality's not
British Superbikes August Bank Holiday meeting. So it's one of the most attended in the country.
I keep saying I need to take Megan.
It's in a dip.
Yeah.
It's in a dip, and it's very hilly to get there, but in the Wolds. But
Mummy's actually
not something you can do on a push bike.
Mummy's actually very happy that she can say she's actually been on a racetrack, because she did actually have to go onto the racetrack to get me, because where the paddock area was and I was, she had to go on the racetrack.
She's been on Le Mans, yeah. Because she was sat next to me in the car when we was driving on Le Mans.
You've driven Le Mans, she's driven Cadwell. I'm sure you've driven Cadwell at some points.
I'm just looking now. Okay, so if you need to pull over to the.
I'm in the pit lane.
Yeah, I can see you in the
What
pit
is
lane.
this?
If you can roll all the way back.
Lando's got an issue.
Not just paint this time.
No.
Lando Norris has got an issue, and he's crawling into the grid. Look, the yellows are out in the pit lane. They've just been brought in.
I think he's got another one with an hydraulic problem. That was crawling.
That was
very much like
yeah.
You've got an hydraulic problem.
Let's take a look and see if we can hear what happens. To turn 15.
So coming up to turn. This one's turn 7.
Oh, I know what's happened. He's gone over the rumble strips, and it's it's ripped the floor off.
It's the floor.
Look, the floor's off underneath,
Yeah, the under-tray.
I reckon it's cracked the part of the hydraulic, as you say, because he's gone all the way off on the rumble strips that are designed for motorcycles for track limits, and he's gone right over there and wrecked the
exactly
wheel.
the wrong.
Hang on, FIA Red Bull.
Team Radio.
Hello, Jonathan.
Good morning, Michael. Actually, it's afternoon, isn't it?
Uh-huh.
What are you doing with track limits at the moment? Just taking a view?
Just taking a complete view of where the issues are overall, Jonathan, and then we'll make a assessment after FP1.
Thanks, Michael.
Letting everyone find their feet, basically.
Yeah, copy that.
Thank you.
Jonathan could have asked us that.
Jonathan
very
Wheatley
good.
of the
Yeah.
FIA Auxiliary Company.
Actually, that's quite a good
FIA
idea.
sponsored by Red Bull.
That's quite a good idea, actually. What Michael Masi is letting them do is just find their feet on a brand new track that is designed exclusively for motorcycles. It's not a car track.
We were saying how low these things are,
Yeah.
and yet the downforce of the Formula One car still manages to hit the surface. You know.
So Josh Plays who says that it's quite surprising that we haven't had any lap times deleted. Now you know why. They're just looking in this session in FP2. We'll get the
Which
final
is
track
what
limits.
you suggested in the first place.
Yeah, to get them
Yeah,
in.
Gio's gone,
Yeah.
unfortunately. I think he'll go to WEC. Or
He's got Formula E.
has he got Formula E?
Yeah, he's confirmed in Formula E as a Dragon Penske driver alongside Sergio Sette Camara.
Good.
But-
Because I know Ferrari will keep
Yeah.
him in the compound.
But he is trying to do World Endurance some races because you can do both, because the calendars are set at different
Yeah,
times.
because
Bird, Degrassi,
you
all
know
that do it,
Ferrari
yeah.
are famous in.
Yeah, they're returning to do hypercar at the moment. Yeah, that's why no times. Yeah, let's go to the chat quick and catch up, because Josh says I've been to that Tesco where my shoes fell apart while camping Cadwell. Great shoes they sell at Tesco. That's where I actually got my trainers from, and my sandals. Thinking about it, they were on offer as well. What's happened to Norris? He went on the curb. His car stopped or something. Yeah, because of the curb. Yeah, it just raced. It's ripped off the floor. And it's dropped down, and it's I think it's damaged one of the electrical components as well. There could be a hydraulic issue. We'll wait to find out. But he's run over the curb and gone off. Let's take a look at the chat poll that we've got going on. 8 votes so far. Will FIA investigate Verstappen? 75% say yes, 25% say no. And right now we have got no news on anything about that. They're still taking their time.
So 6 people, because we only had 8 people doing the poll.
Yes, yeah, 6
people say yes, 2 people say
no. Yeah, I'll be around about it.
There's Lando. You've broken the car again, Lando. Andreas will be very upset that you've broken the car.
Hopefully it's a quick fix. Lewis Hamilton sporting an LGBTQ helmet this weekend with the pride flag rainbow over it as well, because Lewis Hamilton has been saying all weekend F1 needs to do more to promote basic human rights in countries like
Qatar.
Saudi Arabia, and Abu Dhabi as well. So Lewis very much on it for the end of the season as we enter the Middle East segment of the season as well. I'm surprised they didn't put Bahrain in it and just do Bahrain, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, Abu Dhabi.
I noticed on Netflix last night there is a documentary that says the men who sold the World Cup.
Qatar.
And it's about Qatar, isn't it?
Yeah. I'll tell you what, there's only going to be 40,000 people here this weekend, but there's not a lot of in attendance at the moment in FP1.
It's
but it is
Netflix
in FP1.
saying that, not us. We have no idea.
That is Netflix.
No idea. We're not making a decision.
We should have had the World Cup. If we could do the Olympics, we should have had that. Just trying to have a
We
look
did the
through.
Olympics.
We did the Olympics in 2012. I know, remarkable, wasn't it, that we did it?
Yeah, did you see the flame?
Yes, I did. Yes, we did.
Where did you see it? Immingham, lad.
Immingham, yeah. I'll tell you one thing, though. We recorded that.
That was great, the view
yeah.
there. I just went to the school there.
Yeah, that was
because
great
it was
view.
a stopover point for, you know.
You could feel the heat from it.
Yeah.
That was unbelievable.
It's a gas thing filled with, you know. And there's a spare one. It's in a miner's lamp.
Yes, yeah.
The flame is in the miner's lamp.
That's the actual flame from Greece, and then it's all just lit up. Yeah. I'm trying to have a look on Twitter to see if there's anything about the Verstappen-Hamilton incident, and at the moment there's nothing. And Rob Watts has actually said, I live for the tension that exists between Jonathan Wheatley and Michael Masi. I'd agree with that one actually there, Rob.
But it's Jonathan's job to do this, right? But Michael should be a bit more aggressive towards these things. He has so many times taken what they said and done something about it.
Yeah.
Right? Charlie wouldn't.
No, Charlie would have said...
Charlie would have
turned
around and says, well, you know, why ain't your lad doing it?
I know, it's ridiculous. Let's take a look at this.
Charlie let things flow more, didn't he?
Yes.
But then Michael is just learning the job.
3 seasons, though, he's done now. 19, 20, 21.
Yeah, but if you were a Formula One driver, right, 3 seasons, you're just still learning your trade.
I have said, maybe, with this whole stewards issues and there's not consistency across the board, I said maybe we should have one driver steward.
3 seasons.
Yeah.
3 seasons in MotoGP.
Makes you invest.
If you aren't up to standard,
you're out.
You're out.
Mark Hughes,
usually on a stretcher.
Probably, yeah. Mark Hughes, who is at Sport MPH
Mark Hughes, Manchester United Mark Hughes.
No, Mark Hughes he's an F1 journalist and Sky F1 Combox producer. He's said it's impossible to define acceptable racing in F1, so leave it up to an ex-driver who can spot and disqualify dirty drivers on the spot. Now, I have retweeted this.
Mark had this big chin with a big dimple on it.
I have retweeted this, and you can get it at Joshua Birch 99. I put excellent article by Mark Hughes, and this is what I think. I think we should have one driver steward for the season, so there's consistency completely across the board. They can make all the decisions of a black flag, a penalty, 5 seconds, all that.
But I disagree.
Hang on.
Lewis?
Are we so on the straight or something?
No, not particularly.
Hamilton wants to know why he's 7 tenths behind Verstappen and quite a lot of tenths behind Bottas.
Because they've now changed their rear wing to the same as this.
Sinthor did say there was a big slide for us at the final corner. There it is. He went wide.
Well, that's why you're 17th,
but
Lewis.
Here's my point. I said, let's have one driver steward for the whole season so that we can have consistency and he can issue black and white flags, black flags, 5 seconds, 10 seconds, drive-throughs, all that.
That's enormous power for one person.
And here's I said, can I suggest Dario Franchitti? An amazing driver, 3 Indy 500s and 4 IndyCar titles. He is not connected to any current F1 driver or team, making him totally impartial for decisions. And Dario has got a fantastic racing brain.
Yeah, and he'd keep DLR right, okay.
Yeah.
PDR.
Yeah. I mean, his cousin.
Paul de Resta is his cousin.
Yeah, but he's not connected to any current F1 driver, is he?
DLR.
But what do you think?
Still a little bit.
That we've heard that one from Hamilton. What do you think?
No, I disagree. I think I think the fact that
yeah, but we've got
that the steward, the driver steward changes everything.
But I'd just like to point out one of the stewards from last week is Antonio Liuzzi, ex-Red Bull driver and current Red Bull contracted.
That's all right. We had Mika Salo at quite a few.
Yeah, that's Ferrari.
Yeah.
My point being, you can't have drivers for teams that still exist.
Johnny's done it.
Johnny Stewart. Benetton, no longer in Formula 1. Sauber, no longer in Formula 1. Well, Alfa Romeo, but no longer in Formula 1. Jaguar, no longer in F1. My point is, let's have a driver who is consistent and has got racing experience and world championships. I'm saying Dario Franchitti.
Yeah, but where's Johnny from?
Well, yeah, no, but no, seriously.
Where's Johnny from? Stevenage.
Yeah, I know, Hamilton.
Hamilton's from Stevenage.
This is my point.
Crofty's from Stevenage.
Yeah, but here's my point. Dario Franchitti, Scottish driver, British driver,
but
racing.
he's
racing.
got a lot
listen,
on with Formula
yes,
E
but
and with IndyCar.
Here's the thing. Racing in America, he's won 3 Indy 500s, 4 IndyCar World Championships.
I know, he's brilliant.
Yeah, but he has got racing experience on ovals, road circuits as well.
So
He's
I think
the
we'll
man.
have to box. May have a car issue.
Oh no, Lewis is so that is
Can I
issue.
start it up or not?
It'll be strat mode 5.
That's something that really annoys me as well. Lewis gets told there's a car issue, and then he says, "Can I start a lap?" And they said, "Yeah, okay, strap no 5." But he's got to come in. He's damaged the car by going off the track. So Hamilton's now got an issue.
Yeah, but they wouldn't let him do another lap unless it's not a serious.
Yeah,
car
Cynthia
injury.
says, "Did you just skip that team radio?" Yeah, because we already heard it. It was Hamilton's being replayed.
Yeah, we get it in our heads.
This guy.
This team radio sometimes is
Like
not
this one
played
for
out.
Vettel.
Yeah,
Oh, Ferrari's tripping over.
we've got it coming through our headphones.
Oh,
Clear ahead and behind.
Sainz backing up, letting Leclerc go through, and almost running into Tsunoda. But let's have a look at this actually. Adam says, yeah, Dario is an awesome choice. I think it would work. One driver steward. You can have the rest of the panel rotating, but one driver steward for the entire year who has the power to give black and white flags, and all the penalties you like. Because
Dario is quite happy what he's doing.
Yeah,
he does
but
not need the money.
Here's my point. Give one driver that role who can easily spot when, okay, he's gone for an error there, but he hasn't maliciously done it. Okay, Lando running
You
Leclerc
mean
off the line.
he's the sort of person that is a really nice lad but won't take any rock. Yeah, I understand that.
Just passed me on my right throttle foot.
Copy that, Sebastian. I think if it's going to be rattling around, we probably should stop and check.
Verstappen.
I got it to my left now, so it's
Again with the loose items.
So Vettel's now got a problem as well. That's 3 cars with issues.
Yeah, look, sounds like Sebastian's got something loose in the cockpit again.
Cynthia says, many issues. This track doesn't look like it's good for F1 cars, is it? No, it doesn't.
It's great
does
for
it?
MotoGP, I'll tell you.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, it was the race that didn't get banned
There's a
for
steward sub
Moto2
come out.
and Moto3.
Oh,
It
there's a
didn't get banned, did it? It
Which
was
one,
just
sorry?
at the start of coronavirus. It was the one track we got a Moto2 and a Moto3 at.
Yes.
But the bikes were there. The riders weren't for MotoGP, but the Moto2 and Moto3 had just done a practice.
Oh, okay.
There. We have an inch.
The stewards, yeah. This is due to force majeure. The FIA stewards.
Yes, you can go again.
That's Leclerc. Yeah, due to force majeure, FIA stewards Lolo Baccarali is unavailable for the rest of the event under the authority of the stewards and the sporting code. Mr. Tim Mayer replaces the main steward. So Tim was also the steward at the Grand Prix Sao Paulo. He's the main steward, so he's replaced him.
Gary Connolly.
Gary Connolly and Mario Pirro are the other 2 stewards this weekend as well.
Connolly and Pirro have got great racing histories.
Dutch commentator says Mazepin has got floor damage. Many guys getting floor damage. So there's a load of them with floor damage. Okay, come
And
again.
what we think it is that the Formula One cars run so low to the floor, and they're not really, when they go over these curbs, right? They've been sucked onto the curbs, and these curbs are, right?
Yeah,
slightly raised, right?
For the MotoGPs, yeah.
And so it's like a grater.
Yeah.
That's going over, and I think that's what's happening.
Same things happens at Silverstone as well, and these runoff curbs as well aren't helping. Let's see, has Carlos Sainz done the same?
Up to now,
yeah, he has.
Up to now, it's the low-rate cars that've got the damage.
Yeah, they need to. He's gone off as well. Look,
Red Bull haven't had any damage, have they?
No. Exit at turn 15, Sainz has gone straight off, and he's on the radio.
And Carlos.
Traffic again. Cannot move the lap without traffic.
Yeah, Bottas was in his way, and it created like a wind speed effect as well. So that's a problem. Just touching back on the one stewards.
Yeah.
For the one steward per year, Dario would be a great choice. He's,
Yeah, he
he's
probably
external.
would, but
He'll-
it'd put
Yeah,
you know,
but Dario would know the difference between if that was done deliberately or not, if it was accidental. Whereas by the letter of the law,
look at the pressure Michael Massey's put on
but
by these people.
But my point is, what happened to Lando in Austria?
Would
Lando didn't mean it.
Dario even want that sort of pressure put on him?
Just listen, yeah. Well, I've just suggested it. I suggested Dario as a great option, but listen, what Lando did in Austria was completely accidental. He didn't even know.
I would
it was
put
there.
I would put another name, Wirtz.
Wirtz, he's head of GPDA, isn't he?
Yeah.
And ties to McLaren, so it won't work. You want a completely impartial driver, you get somebody who's outside of the sport.
Yeah, but Wirtz knows the ins and outs of both sides of the track.
Who else? Who else could do it then? I'm thinking IndyCar. Tom Christensen. World Endurance Championship.
Yeah.
Multiple Le Mans winner, Tom Christensen. Alain McNish, another one. Just get driver stewards in who are completely external to current F1 events.
Yeah, Alan loves his rule book.
Because honestly, look, we've got Liuzzi, ex-Red Bull driver.
And Alan can still run a fair distance very quickly, as he did in the Formula E.
And he's no longer team principal because Audi have left.
Yeah, I know.
So, yeah, get Alan McNish. Let's have Alan McNish, Tom Christensen, Dario Franchitti, and throw in a couple more. Just a set of stewards that can
Just
be
one of those
consistent.
stupid things that's in my brain. As soon as you say Alan McNish, I think of Paul de Resta, because Alan was the driver, the other driver in the same team as Paul's dad.
Yeah,
and
in endurance.
when Paul's mother went into labour, Alan drove her to the hospital and was actually the first person other than her to hold Paul.
Said that on the BBC, didn't he?
Yeah.
All those years ago. It's a very funny situation.
That's a weird thing.
Well,
He's known him since the first hour of his life.
remarkably, all the Scottish drivers are sort of all linked together.
They are.
Yeah,
It's a big link.
it's
DC.
It's
They're
really
all
bizarre.
like cousins and second cousins.
Yeah,
and
so now they're getting a big slide.
Even Sir Jackie is
He's
related in some way to at least 3 of the Scottish drivers.
I think the only one who is completely separate is Jim Clark. He's not connected to anybody, is he?
Well, Sir Jackie says that
He's like a brother to me,
one of the greatest days in his Formula One life was when Stewart were on the thing, and that he'd got Paul and DC in the same race.
Yeah.
And he was very proud of that.
Just 2 minutes to go this session as well. I'm just trying to think, of course. There's Deborah on the track. What is that?
Paul Stewart, by the way, not,
Yes, obviously,
not Paul de Resta.
What? Oh, we got a yellow because this is
That
something
looks
launched.
like it's come off. I think that's something to do with what we've just seen.
Yeah. Oh,
Right.
get out of the way.
Look what it is.
Oh,
Let's go in.
Yellow sector 11, actually. So someone's off sector 2. Track surface is slipping. Oh, it's Schumacher. Schumacher's gone way off the track, and it's in the gravel.
Yeah, but that looks like.
How's he done that in the gravel? That's so deep into the corner.
That looks like part of an under tray.
Yeah. So something's been ripped off there. There's 2 yellows now, sector 1, 2. Oh, and he's put gravel on the racing line. That should be a red flag. Oh, Schumacher off track and continue 10-7. But look at the gravel. Look at the gravel.
We've only got 1 minute left.
Green flags, but I don't see why, because there's no gravel on the racing line. And there's a load of gravel. And it's deep gravel here, of course, isn't it, for the MotoGP?
Little Mick is just doing a practice for when he does his community job of, salting the roads for the winter.
Let's see how he did it then. Coming into the back half of this.
He did it well.
Turn 7, into turn 7, turns in. And locks up and goes straight on, okay. And it's a deep gravel trap because of the MotoGPs. It has to stop the riders who fly off.
There was another thing.
Oh, let's have Schumacher.
Sorry about that.
Sorry about that. Okay, OT.
Is that thing that's on the racetrack a part of somebody's rear suspension complex?
Yeah, that'd be heavy.
It did blow though, didn't it? So it looked carbon fibre-ish.
Could it be an end plate on the wing? Just on the front there? You know, the little side parts you get. Yeah, on the front wing. It looks that size.
I'll tell you what it could be. We've had
We've got no wing failures. So
no,
yeah, go on.
but the under tray on
Yes,
it
the
has
veins.
the little veins.
Yeah, I think
it could be one
a
of
vein.
those.
Yeah, checkered flag is out. The session's over. Could be a vein actually. It's still there, I think, in Sector 1. I don't think anybody's... Yeah, the Bottas...
We're going to ask.
Through it. Yeah.
Is it your...
Oh,
so vain.
I knew that was coming. Schumacher pits. Russell, Norris, Bottas have taken the checkered flag. Verstappen is going to end the session fastest. 1:23.723 is the fastest time. Could just looked up on the board, actually. That would tell me. Driver tracker still not working. Hopefully it'll look better ahead of FP2 and actually get something sorted.
How do you confuse a lighthouseman?
Make it a 360 light.
No, you just tell him that his wages is in the corner.
Checker flags are out. Just the one checkered. And actually, that finish line is earlier on than it is in MotoGP, isn't it? So it's later on than it is in MotoGP. It's gone now, whatever it is. So they've removed it. M says, do you think McLaren got any chance to catch up Ferrari? Yes, I do, because I don't think this circuit's going to suit Ferrari that much. Let's end the poll then and see what the final results were. As they come through, I think Ferrari will be caught by McLaren because McLaren now have got some tracks that they like. They like Abu Dhabi and they like here as well. So this is Schumacher again off the track. This is down 10-7 again. Will the FIA investigate Verstappen? 75% of you said yes and 25% of you said no. That's the final results as we see Schumacher again off the track.
And 1,626 people are not bothered.
Not bothered at all. Not bothered at all. As Schumacher continues on. So that's it. And do you know what? It's nice that I now get to go in and have some lunch.
That reminds me of a story I saw the other day that in South Africa they had hailstones as big as tennis balls.
They did, didn't they? Yeah. Yeah. We've had a couple like that as well. Oh, do you know actually? I was. Oh, let's have a Vettel first.
Another box that's loose, but it's connected to a cable. I've got it under my thigh, so.
I think it's off Sebastian's car.
I mean, that should.
Yeah, because that's something else has come loose. A box, and he's put it under his thighs. That's going to be giving him a lot of stabbing pain. It's not a cramp, as well. We'll see you for FP2. Absolutely. Oh, big lock up on the lockup.
He's good at boxes because that's where his motorbike is in his shed.
He's going to repair it over the winter. Although we've heard
He's
that before.
been saying that for 5 years. He keeps getting it out, taking all the bits out, doing a little bit, then put it back.
The problem is, he's like James May. He spends hours filing his tools.
I'll tell you, his favourite thing in the entire world, other than his kids and his wife, right, is his lawnmower. He's got a sit-on lawnmower. He says it's so relaxing just to go cut the lawn.
The problem is that he hasn't got a lawn.
Yeah,
it's all gone.
20 quid.
Yeah,
20 quid from each house round the corner.
Didn't his wife say that he had to go get him because he was in the neighbour's field?
Yeah.
I thought so. That was last.
Of course, the best driver for lawnmowers is Kimi.
Oh God, the amount of time he can do that.
Lawnmowers, mini hovercraft. He's brilliant.
Kimi can just
he
race
drifts
anything.
on a hovercraft brilliantly.
Sonoda, that's how Gasly going off the track. This is a lap recap. Gasly's P2, 1:24.160. Another fantastic lap time there. Verstappen leads Gasly. We've seen no information once again on whether or not Verstappen will be investigated for what happened in Sao Paulo. But it's just like FP2 was a week ago, where we didn't know what Hamilton was doing.
And in FP2 today, hopefully Megan will be here.
Yep, she'll be with us for free practice number 2. Synthor joins me in the box for free practice 3. Megan's back along with Josh Plays for qualifying. And then in the race, we're all three together once again for the main action at this one. But for now, the real fun begins. Still no decision from the request of right to review, but we have Wolf and Horner together in the press conference in just under half an hour's time.
And it's Children in Need Day in this country.
Absolutely. And that's Chris Metland who's just said that. Yes, it is children. I was on about the Hampton thing. Yeah, it's Children in Need today as well.
And the bear comes from around here. He's bit about 70 miles north in Pudsey.
So there is a big fundraiser tonight in the UK as well. And give what you can. There's going to be some great entertainment on television as well. What was last year's? 18 million?
It's only 3 hours this week.
Yeah.
This year.
Because of
like
COVID.
it was last year.
Which is good because it means they get everything out the way straight away. And
we're on BT Sports, so
Why? What's on BT Sports tonight?
We are.
Are we? Why?
Not us. The team. Our
Oh,
local football team.
lovely. Oh, lovely. I'm looking forward to that now. Oh, really? I was going to go. I forgot. We don't play tomorrow,
We're
do
playing Southend.
we? We play next week on a Saturday. In fact, I don't think I'm here, which is really annoying. I think I'm in Manchester or Liverpool, whichever one it is at the moment, just throwing up in the air.
Pray for Liverpool. It's further away.
Oh, I pray for Liverpool. I love Liverpool. I want to go to Liverpool. I've done Manchester so many times. I want
I
to
don't
do
know
Liverpool.
what.
No,
I'm a drummer, not a wet
No, but
nurse.
seriously, if we can go to Liverpool on a night out, I can go to the club where the Beatles played. What's it called?
The Cavern.
The Cavern. Yeah, I can go to the Cavern. I thought it was the Cavern.
Yeah. Silly used to be the girl in the box.
Do you reckon?
They took your coat if you came in. You know, I gave you a little ticket.
Scylla's buried there, isn't she?
What, the Cavern?
No, she's buried
In Liverpool. Yeah, the
yeah.
All Saints or Queen Mary Church on the
Somewhere around that, yeah. Let's go through the results then. It's Verstappen fastest from Gasly, Bottas, Hamilton, Tsunoda, the top 5. Sainz, Leclerc as well. Actually, I've just had an idea because we don't. Oh, no,
I don't know really.
Yeah, Sainz, Leclerc, Perez, Ocon, Norris, the top 10. Ricardo, Vettel, Latifi, Giovinazzi, Raikkonen, Russell, Alonso, Schumacher, Stroll, and Mazepin in the running order. Free practice 2 underway.
You do that so well, Joshua.
Thank you. Free practice 2 underway at 1:50 UK time. Practice 2 10:50. Qualifying from 1:40, and the main race on Sunday 1:30 underway at 2 o'clock. Lights out. Well, thanks to Ian Birch as well.
Lennon,
Thanks
come
to all of
here.
you.
All right. All right there. All right.
We'll see you for we'll see you in the race next.
You want to hear my daughter Megan and Kellyanne do Liverpool accents? They're brilliant.
Yeah, we say let's see you for the race. Let's see how the internet goes. Right, that's it then. An interesting first hour of action as well. A lot of drama out there as they get used to the circuit, but it's all good as we go for free practice 2 later on. The first session in Qatar is done. Now we go to the real business. The night session is coming up later here, but it's Max Verstappen the fastest, a 1:23.723 in the first practice session. Thanks for your company. We'll see you later on. Bye for now.